Picture this. You are settled into your favorite spot on the couch. Maybe you are reading a book or watching the rain trace patterns on the window. The house is quiet. Then you feel it. A soft weight lands on your lap. Your cat circles once, twice, and then begins that familiar rhythm. Push, pull. Those tiny paws press gently into the blanket, into you. It is hypnotic, almost meditative. Most of us call it making biscuits. But here is something you might not know. In 2017, a medical journal published an unusual case report. It described a woman who woke up one morning. She found tiny red dots on her abdomen. Small puncture wounds. The cause. Her cat had been kneading on her lap the night before. The cat was so enthusiastic that its claws left marks on her skin. Physicians gave this phenomenon a Latin name, Felis punctatis, literally cat punctures. I am not sharing this to alarm you. I share it because it illustrates something important. Even the most common pet behaviors have layers of meaning. We rarely stop to consider them. So today, let us ask that question together. What really lies beneath those rhythmic paw movements? Why do cats spend hours making biscuits on us, on blankets, on anything soft and warm? If you have searched for an answer online, you know the popular explanation. Kneading is simply leftover behavior from kittenhood. And there is truth to this. Imagine a newborn litter of kittens, eyes still closed, ears flattened. They find their way to their mother's belly. To stimulate milk flow, they push and pull against her. Tiny front paws working rhythmically. It is called the milk tread. It ensures that dinner keeps flowing. In those first weeks of life, this motion means warmth, safety, survival. What is remarkable is that this behavior does not disappear. Feline experts Mel and Fiona Sunquist studied this. They wrote that this motion remains part of the cat's behavior for life. They observed something interesting. For some adult cats, anything soft and warm will set them off. These cats seem unable to settle down without a few minutes of kneading. So yes, when your cat kneads, part of what you see is a memory. A deep, bodily memory of comfort and nourishment. But if we stop there, we only scratch the surface. The story of kneading does not begin and end with kittenhood. It stretches back much further. And it involves parts of your cat's body you might never have considered. Let us look closer. Beneath the soft fur of a cat's paw pads lie structures scientists have studied. In 1989, a histochemical study examined something specific, the eccrine glands in the foot pads of cats. These are sweat glands. But they are not for cooling down like human sweat glands. They serve a different purpose entirely. Researchers discovered these glands produce complex secretions, glycoproteins to be precise. They identified two primary functions. First, these secretions improve the frictional capacities of the paw. In other words, they help cats get a better grip. Second, and this is the fascinating part, they allow cats to leave typical scent marks. Think about that for a moment. Every time your cat kneads, it is not just stretching its paws. It is actively activating these glands, releasing pheromones, invisible chemical signals, onto the surface below, the blanket, the pillow, your lap. These scents are then detected through a specialized organ. It is called the Jacobson's organ, or the vomeronasal organ. It sits in the roof of the cat's mouth. It allows cats to read chemical information from their environment, in a way we humans simply cannot. So when your cat kneads, it is having a conversation. In the language of scent, it is saying something. This belongs to me. This is familiar. This is safe. But where did this need to mark and grip come from? For that, we need to travel back in time. Too long before there were sofas and fleece blankets, there were wildcats. The direct ancestor of your domestic cat is the African wildcat, Felis sylvestris libica, a solitary hunter that still roams parts of Africa and the Middle East today. Picture this wildcat in its natural habitat. It has found a spot to rest, perhaps among tall grasses, under a bush, or in a shallow depression in the earth. Before settling down, it does something familiar. It paws at the ground, pushes the grass down, turns in circles, paws some more. This is not random fidgeting. It is nest-building behavior. In the wild, this action serves multiple purposes. It flattens the vegetation, creating a more comfortable bed. It drives out any hidden insects or small creatures. And crucially, it allows the cat to inspect the ground for danger. Those paws, with their enhanced friction, help the cat feel the surface, test its stability, ensure it is safe. The Sunquists documented this behavior across multiple wild cat species. It is not unique to domestic cats. It is an inheritance. Before the soft sofa, there was the savanna and the forest. Before the warm blanket, there was dry grass and fallen leaves. Your cat, in those quiet moments on your lap, is simply preparing a safe bed, in the same way its ancestors did thousands of years ago. Now let us bring this back to you. When your cat chooses you as the surface for this ancient ritual, something profound happens. Leading feline behavior expert John Bradshaw studied this. In his essential work, he describes something called allorubbing. This is when cats rub their heads, cheeks, and bodies against each other. It might look simple, but it is actually a sophisticated social ritual. Bradshaw's observations reveal something interesting. Cats typically raise their tails vertically before approaching another cat for rubbing. This tail-up signal is an invitation, a clear message that the approaching cat intends friendly contact, not aggression. When the other cat reciprocates, they engage in mutual rubbing. They mix their scents together. Now, here is the connection. Kneading, when directed at a human, appears to be a variation of this bonding behavior. The cat is simultaneously depositing its own scent from those paw pad glands, and in the process, picking up your scent. The result is a shared odor profile, a chemical signature that says, "We belong together." Combine this with the kittenhood memory we discussed earlier, and you get something beautiful. When your cat kneads on you, it blends two fundamental experiences: the primal comfort of nursing from its mother, and the adult social ritual of bonding with a trusted companion. You are, in that moment, both parent and partner, both source of safety and object of affection. But there is even more to this story. It takes us somewhere unexpected, inside the feline brain. In 2010, a remarkable paper was published. Its title was deceptively simple: Why do we have a caudate nucleus? The author, Jaime Villablanca, spent years studying the brains of cats. His findings are astonishing. The caudate nucleus is a region deep within the brain. It is associated with emotion, motivation, and attachment in mammals, including humans. In Villablanca's experiments, cats with damage to this area displayed peculiar behaviors. They would persistently approach and follow a person, or another cat, or even any moving object, and simultaneously, they exhibited something striking. The paper describes it as a friendly disposition together with purring, and forelimbs treading and kneading. Now, we must be careful here. This research involved cats with specific brain injuries. It is not describing healthy cats, but what it suggests is profound. It indicates that in the feline brain, kneading is neurologically linked to approach behavior and positive social emotion. The circuits that control kneading connect to the circuits that control bonding. Think about what that means. When your cat kneads on you, it is not just a physical reflex. It is a behavior rooted in the same brain systems that, in humans, are associated with love and attachment. In a very real, biological sense, your cat's brain is switching on its bonding mode, just for you. In the natural world of cats, this complex of behaviors is reserved for the closest relationships. The approach, the purring, the kneading, mothers and kittens, siblings who grew up together, trusted companions. When your cat does this to you, it is inviting you into that inner circle. In the only way it can, it is saying, "You are family." Of course, no discussion of cat behavior would be complete without this. Not every expression is a pure signal of joy. Like any language, kneading can sometimes communicate something else entirely. Remember that medical case report we opened with. Felis punctatis. It serves as a gentle reminder. Even the most loving behavior has a physical dimension. If your cat's claws are overgrown or particularly sharp, those rhythmic presses can become uncomfortable, even painful. Regular nail trimming is not just about protecting your furniture. It is about protecting your skin and ensuring this bonding ritual remains a positive experience for both of you. More importantly, kneading can sometimes be a sign of stress. Cats, like humans, develop coping mechanisms for anxiety. Some cats may knead excessively when they feel uncertain. They use the repetitive motion to self-soothe, much like a child sucking their thumb, or a person tapping their foot nervously. How can you tell the difference? Look at the whole picture of your cat's body language. When kneading is a sign of contentment, you will see a relaxed body, half closed or blinking eyes, ears in a neutral position, soft, rhythmic purring. The cat may even drool slightly, a sign of such deep relaxation that they have regressed to that kittenhood state. When kneading is stress-related, you might notice tension in the body. Wide eyes with dilated pupils, flattened ears, tail flicking. The kneading may seem frantic rather than rhythmic. It may be accompanied by other stress signals: excessive grooming, hiding, changes in appetite. If you notice these signs, do not scold the behavior. Instead, ask what might be causing the stress. A change in the household, a new pet, loud noises, even boredom can trigger anxiety. Your role is not to suppress the symptom, but to address the cause. So here we are, back in that quiet moment. Your cat on your lap, those paws pressing gently into you. What is really happening? It is a memory from kittenhood, a return to the warmth and safety of the mother's belly. It is a chemical conversation, pheromones from those tiny paw pads saying you are mine. This is our space. It is an ancient inheritance, the nest-building ritual of wild ancestors, adapted now to the soft landscape of domestic life. And deep down, it is a neurological event, a bonding behavior hardwired into the feline brain, reserved for those who matter most. We may never fully know what it feels like to be a cat. We cannot experience the world through those senses, cannot read the chemical poetry of a pheromone message, cannot feel the exact texture of that kittenhood memory. But we can witness, and in witnessing, we can appreciate. When those tiny paws gently press into your lap, you are not just being used as a warm surface. You are being included in a conversation that has been unfolding for millions of years. A dialogue between ancient instinct and modern affection, between the wildcat and the hearth, between survival and love, and in that conversation, you are the main character. So the next time your cat settles onto your lap and begins that familiar rhythm, take a breath. Feel the gentle pressure of those paws, and know that in this small, quiet ritual, you are being told something profound. You are home, you are family, you are loved. If you enjoyed this exploration of the hidden lives of our feline companions, consider subscribing. In our next episode, we will dive into another mysterious behavior, the psychology of why cats hate water, from the evolutionary roots of their fear to the science behind that soaked cat panic. We will uncover what really happens when water meets whiskers. Until then, pay attention to the small behaviors. They are often the biggest conversations.